Okay, this is a week 11 podcast, and I'm not going to keep it real long here. A fairly short discussion here on choosing your final this week. I had to rearrange the schedule a little bit due to my schedule, but this week you're going to work on just choosing your final, which we'll go over in a second, your final portfolio. Next week, we'll do the lighting lab, and then the week following, we'll do the portrait lab night where you're going to invite your friends and family. I want to go to the announcements first for this week. Excuse me. And so here's the announcement for week 11, choose final. This week, again, online, going over choosing final this week. You'll submit your topic by Sunday. Lighting lab next week. Week 13 is a portrait lab. This link here will send you to an Eventbrite you can send to your family and friends. And they can come in here and register for the RSVP for that event. So if you could do that, that would be great. You can just send it to them and they can remind them of that event. Week 14, optional attendance, you work on your final portfolio. 15, class attendance mandatory. Excuse me. Do a checklist on your final portfolio. And finally, week 16, work on your final portfolio. So let's go over what the final portfolio is and what choices you have and go from there. Make sure you've checked in for this week. Excuse me. Go to 11, choose final. So what you're going to do this week is choose a photography profession using the final handout we'll look at in a second and submit up to 2 professions. You don't have to do 2. You can choose just one if you want to. So you could do like, sports photography and nature photography as an example. We'll also look at some of the sources you'll have to create your slideshow, and I'll suggest a couple here. But this week you'll basically submit in this example here, or this assignment here, up to 2 professions. So let's go and look at the PDF first. So let's look at the professions first that you can choose. Photojournalism. This person, this type of photographer gets a shot. More important than technique, speed, or deadlines are very important here. News articles, photo essays, special use. And then sports, long, continuous shooting, nature, retail, forensics, commercial, excuse me, fashion, entertainment, and art. So once you've chosen your profession, what you're doing this week, which category, and again, you can choose up to 2, you're going to begin gathering your photos. Okay, once you gather your photos, and these can be photos you've already taken, they don't have to be new photos. You'll do some post editing on all of them, make sure they look good. You can bring them into Pixlr or Photoshop, either one. For each, in total, you want to collect between 30 and 50 photos is what you want for the portfolio. So that's what you'll be, excuse me, working on the next couple weeks, next 3 weeks, is gathering your photos. As far as publication of those photos, you will gather them together, whether you collect existing or take some new shots, either one. So you'll choose a profession this week. Next, begin gathering and shooting photos on number 2 here to start your project. Once you've created all your photos and collected them, you will create contact sheets of those images, print them like we've done in class, the contact sheets. And then within the contact sheets, you will circle in red the 3 to 5 8x10s that you'll print out of the top 3 to 5 8x10s that you like. And you'll put those in your binder. So in your binder, you're going to have your thumbnails. You'll have also your 3 to 5 8x10s you've chosen. In there, you'll also have a DVD of your presentation, which we'll talk about in a second. And we're going to change it up a little bit this semester because many of you don't have DVD burners at home. So we'll talk about that. And in the portfolio itself, you'll have a 1/2-inch binder, no folders inside, minimum up to 3 to 5 images in protective sheets, 5 preferably. And you can get these photos printed at, Walmart or Walgreens or wherever. And so once you gather your 30 to 50 photos and you're going to get your thumbnails, you'll pick up to 5 images, print them out. In the front of the binder, you're going to have a resume. After your resume, you will have your 3 to 5 or your 5 8x10s. Then your contact sheets of all your images with the ones you printed out circled in red. The top of the binder will have a piece of paper that has your name, the class name, and the semester. So this steps here is you can still do it this way, by the way, and on this page here with iDVD and Photo QuickTime and iPhoto Show. But I'm going to walk through another way I recommend to do once you get all the photos gathered, you'll put them together in a presentation with music in the background. So before I shut that PDF down, this week you're focusing on part 1, which is the profession you're choosing. After you choose that, you can definitely start gathering your photos. So I'm going to go here to the modules and go down here to portfolio final portfolio. Excuse me. And this is a breakdown of what's needed for the portfolio along with helps to help you. So as mentioned, for 75 points is the portfolio and 75 points for the photo show. So for the portfolio itself, the 3-ring binder, 3 to 5 plastic sheets of paper or plastic sheets for your 8x10 photos. And in the description earlier, I read 5, but if you can't afford 5, 3 is fine. The cover page will be your name, Web225 Spring 2019, not Spring 2018. Resume, if you click on this link, it'll bring you to a resume builder site where you can build your one-page resume. If you need examples of resumes created for this course in the past, you can look at the binders at the front of the class. Then your 3 to 5 8x10 photos with plastic covers, then thumbnails of your photos. So you want them in that order in your 3-ring binder. So cover page on top of the binder in the front, resume, 3 to 5 8x10s, thumbnails. And you'll circle in red the ones that you printed out. And I even put in here a link to Pixel Express on creating the contact sheet. Moving to the DVD or the presentation, worth 75 points. Notice I put in your DVD presentation or online. I recommend online just because Most students don't even have DVDs anymore to burn at home. You could do them in class, but you might as well do it online because that's what the future is doing with photo shows anyway. So the one I recommend is actually really easy to do with Spark. Spark has Adobe has a feature called Spark that is for video. And basically you will sign up and then walks you through the creation of adding your pictures and adding video to your pictures. And so this one I recommend if you want to use iPhoto, iDVD in the Mac Lab. This is the one. Excuse me, but I recommend this first one here. And this is the original link to the portfolio PDF we went over earlier. On the DVD itself, you will include all of the images, the 30 to 50 photos. You'll include that in your photo show, your online photo show. And so when you're adding your Spark images or your Spark video, let's see if I can log into this to show you. So I've logged in. I'm going to click up here on the plus symbol. We're going to go over to video. And notice there are a whole bunch of different options. Slideshow is the one I'm going to choose. That fits best with what we're doing. Put in here Web225 Final Spring 2019. Then pick a template. A bunch of templates you can pick from or start from scratch, which I'm going to do that. This little video gives you tips of how to begin, which is good to use, but I'm going to skip that. And so right now, we have in our video these two slides, the beginning slide and the credit slide. Okay. Excuse me. So right up here at the front, you can put in here so added that in there. And so that's the first slide. Second slide, I want just a image here. I can upload a photo. I can grab one here. Yeah, I'll grab one. We'll do that one. That's fine. Okay. And then I'll add another photo. We'll pretend there's 30 photos here when I'm done. It'll be a couple. Okay. So we got beginning slide. We'll pretend there's 30 photos here. And then the final. I can add in That's it. Okay. Next, we can add in sound. And on the upper right, there's a music tab. Apologize for my voice. And there's built-in music already here that we can use. Or add your own. I'll go and choose one here. So that's what we're going to put for that. You'll notice I can actually keep that on all of them. You'll notice the checkbox is still here. So I have what, wandering guitar on that one. Could do like. And I'll go back to the wandering guitar. We'll do that one. And then I'm going to go ahead and play it. Go back to the first slide and hit play here on the lower left. Excuse me. Begins rendering the video. And then we'll see an example of it here. There we go. We'll mute it. All right. So over time we got all done. Music's added. Excuse me. Once you've added all of your pictures and your music to the background of all of your images, then you're ready to publish it. So preview first. I muted it earlier. And then share. Leave everything like it is. I'll pick education, create a link. Excuse me. Now it's building the video. At the end, we'll get a link. And you can, by the way, come back and work on this too once you've published it and add more and edit more and things like that. All right, so there's the link. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to exit out of Spark. Relaunch a new browser or new tab. Paste it in here. It shouldn't take too long to prepare it. And that's how you create a slideshow with Spark Video. So that's it for this week. If you have any questions, shoot me an email. Otherwise, have a good week. And looking at the schedule, going back to the announcements. Next week is Lighting Lab. Week following is Portrait Lab. Make sure and send this link to your friends and family. Excuse me. Week 14, work on your final. Classroom optional. Week 15, classroom attendance mandatory. And then 16, you'll present. During the presentation on week 16, I will have a link to everybody's final by then portfolio. I will play it in front of each in succession, one right after the other, and ask each person a few questions, and that's it. Okay? So that's it for this week. If you have any questions, shoot me an email, and I will see everybody next week for the Lighting Lab. And I apologize for my voice.